It is Monday, the 10th of July, 10 after 9. And I think I'm ready to go. Everything we need. So, in a pretty good spot this morning, considering it's Monday and it's July, and property management in July is hectic, to say the least. But I've been working on keeping detached, keeping my emotions under control, separating myself from the business. If you've been following me for any length of time, know that's always been an issue. And I am prone to feeling dread Sunday evening, Monday morning, and coming back to the office. But again, successfully managed that level of detachment. Emails coming through on the weekend, even the maintenance emergency calls that I have to monitor, just haven't let them get to me. And some emails came through, and I'm like, I don't know if this is good news, bad news, one way or the other, and I've just been disregarding them. I'll deal with it on Monday. It's not something that I need to stress myself with over the weekend when I'm trying to relax, enjoy, and work on other things. Those other things are this new business. So I've been working on this now for a while, and several weeks ago I had this driving right here, this same place, heading out to a property on this same road one afternoon, and said, I'm done, I've had it, I'm starting this business. I'm just going to do it and move on with it. I've been, trying to balance out the book writing, the transitioning into a public speaker role, and trying to figure out a way to basically get out of property management so I have more time to work on those things, and trying to figure out a plan that allows me to be creative, allows me to generate some revenue, and is something that I can do with the resources that I currently have right now today without having to really go out there and pursue much more than what I've got. And it's been an evolution of concepts and ideas that have been leading me down this path, and there's been a couple of days where I feel detached from that. I don't feel fired up. I don't feel connection to it. I don't feel the passion. And there are days where I've felt like I was discouraged by one circumstance or another. The details aren't really important, and what is important is that I continue to move forward, and that's important for everybody. That whatever your goals are, there's going to be days where you're detached from that idea. You find yourself kind of in this void. You're like, do I really want to do this? You just start feeling the passion and the fire. And everybody's going to have this cycle. There's going to be ups and downs. But just staying true to yourself and to that course, and trying to make decisions and follow through on them, and just make it happen. So over the course of the last couple of weeks, I haven't really been able to record for one reason or another. Either I haven't felt fired up enough about it to do it, or there's been other things going on and I haven't had the opportunity, whether it's having a Jeep opened up and not being discard the first one and I'll stick with that second one. And then once again on, I don't even remember, Thursday or Friday last week, I gave it another shot to try and give this recap of where I'm at and what I've been doing. And again, it just, this void, this separation between my focus at the time and what I was doing. And I mentioned at some point last week, I think maybe, that I was starting to feel like I was having some allergies or maybe a summer cold or something coming on. Just some very, very mild and light symptoms. Just a little bit of the tickle in the back of your throat, like maybe you're going to start to get a sore throat, and a little bit of a headache and maybe some sinus pressure, and just not feeling 100% myself. And that's been going on for about a week now. I feel like I've been battling through something and I just wasn't sure what it was. And it's made it difficult for me to feel enthusiastic about anything. But I've been continuing to do some research here and, try to make some moves that continue to move forward. Being active on social media has been one of those little things that I can do daily that I feel like is having some benefit, but doesn't require a lot of thought, doesn't require a lot of energy, and it's helping me. And every time I go in there and I follow somebody else and I get somebody to follow me back, or I get a notification out of the blue that somebody else followed one of my accounts, or Twitter or Instagram, I feel like I'm still engaging in the process, and even though I've really kind of felt removed from it, since all those recordings I made last week, I sat down at the computer yesterday and I was looking at the camera and I was looking at that, and I felt like there was just nothing there of any substance. And even though I had given some general recap of what had happened in the last couple of weeks, there just wasn't a lot of energy there. So I ended up just deleting all of them and said, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to pick up tomorrow and start over. And that's kind of where I'm at today. And I woke up this morning with a little bit more passion. Just to give some context to things, it's been several weeks since I've actually put anything of substance on camera. I've been really able to do anything, and I made a couple of attempts last week that just didn't pan out, and again, I scrapped those. So going back farther, I decided that I was, several weeks ago I was going to pursue this opening some type of a business, a restaurant, this specialty themed kind of experimental concept that's not like anything else out there, called Munificus. And it was an idea that I'd been rolling around in my head and trying to evolve, and it's really, in a nutshell, it was just basically taking the personal interaction concept that you get with having a food truck, but having it in a stationary location and having it be as flexible as a food truck, where it's just, you count on social media, you count on word of mouth to get people to come out on the days that you're doing whatever you're doing, and really no set menu, just a way to get people in and interact with them. And I was shopping, just had my eyes open. I wasn't actively, really searching for a space, but had my eyes open, and space caught my eye a couple weeks back that I drive by all the time, and it's always had some kind of a draw and appeal to me, and decided to check it out. It's much larger than I needed, and I went through a brief period of discouragement because of that. I'm like, all right, well, I was drawn to this, but it's just not really going to work out. Where do I want to go now? Which during that interaction, some other space had been brought to my attention, and then just with everything else, another concept came to mind with this, because the food truck has always been an option, and so I was drawn to this space. I went and I looked at it just because the guy was going to show it to me, but had no interest in it, no draw, no appeal. It just felt nothing, no connection, no clicking, nothing. And after a couple of days of trying to figure out, all right, well, what am I going to do? What am I doing now? Where do I go next? This idea came to me about doing this food truck kind of a plaza, this commissary slash have my own food truck plus draw other food truck vendors in, and I was like, it excited me. I felt this fire again. I was like, you know what, I could make something like this happen, and I think it's realistic in nature from where I'm at to be able to make this happen, as long as the building owner is willing to work with me, be flexible, and figure out a way to make it economically viable to start for me, and then more lucrative for him down the road. And I called that agent back, and I guess that was last week, and I went and looked at the space again, and I kind of gave him an idea of what I was thinking about, and he was like, okay, so he said, I'll present to the owner. He's like, just send me an email basically giving a brief description. So I typed up something simple, short paragraph that said, hey, this is what I'm thinking about doing, and want to know if the owner has any idea of working with this concept. And I'm still simultaneously just kind of pursuing the two different concepts at the same time. This restaurant and this food truck slash commissary thing. And that agent ended up emailing me and calling me several times last week. I think it was Thursday. Yeah, definitely Thursday. And he's like, hey, you know what? He's like, I sent that to the owner. He's like, just give me a quick bio. Type something up that just give me, your background, what experience you have in moving forward, so I can send that to the owner. So, it kind of validates your ability to do what you're proposing to do. And so I did that. And I told them, I said, this was Thursday. I said I should have something to you tonight. And Thursday night, I just didn't. I was doing other things, and I did, at some point last week or the week before, I felt like I just didn't feel right, and I didn't know if it was psychological, if I was coming down for something, because I really wasn't suffering any symptoms, but it was kind of a deterrent. It was a factor that was in the last week or so that's really kind of kept me from aggressively pursuing any of this. And so I got Thursday night, and I didn't get it sent out, and then I got into Friday, and we had plans Friday night, and I didn't get anything out, and it got to be Saturday, and I was like, all right, I need to do this. So I sat down, and it was on Saturday, and in lieu of writing a chapter for the book, I sat down and I typed this brief bio. It's a page, it's about 6 paragraphs, and I gave a breakdown of where I started, how I started, what my life has been like over the last 30 years, and what my ambitions were, and where I'm at now, and what I want to try and do with all of that at this point. And it took me a while. It took me an hour and a half, nearly 2 hours to get that done, but everybody else slept in on Saturday. I was up. Again, I wasn't feeling very well. I didn't feel sick. I didn't feel, again, that I had any symptoms. I didn't feel, am I hungover? I just didn't feel right. And that lingered all day Saturday. I just felt like I don't feel right. And again, there was nothing specific about any of it. And I ended up not doing much. Like I said, we went out on Friday, and we spent quite a bit of money to go out and then go to dinner, and it was a good time. And I wasn't 100% into it because I was feeling off, and got into Saturday, did that in the morning, and basically deferred our normal Saturday grocery shopping and Saturday routine, and I went and laid down for several hours, and I woke up and just still wasn't feeling 100%. What are we going to do tonight? And anyway, it was just a very uneventful weekend, and just distracted by this inner see the lines, and I'm not sure if I'm even in a lane. But anyway, so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to get through the weekend again, and no fire, no passion for anything. Got through Saturday, got into Saturday night. We got a movie and watched part of it. It just couldn't follow it. It was interesting, very kind of artsy and unusual, which was kind of cool, but just I was not into it. Rhonda wasn't into it. We ended up shutting it off, and I watched some, I don't even remember, I'm sure it was, she went to bed to read, and I watched something that was probably violent, with a lot of explosions and shooting and stuff. Anyway, I got up yesterday morning, and again, really not feeling a whole lot of fire ambition. We made some breakfast at home. I ate, and I was like, you know what, we should go to the Y. I'd like to go fishing. You know, maybe we can go to a park. And we just sat around through the rest of the morning into, you know, just afternoon. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go lay down again. And again, just not feeling myself. And feeling just a little bit guilty that I'm not doing anything, not pursuing anything. I have, a couple months ago, I purchased all the classes that I need to take to renew my real estate license, and last week I purchased the classes that I need to take to get my food handler's license, which I'm going to need to do whatever I'm doing. I'm thinking this timeline, you know, I'd like to have something done in 4 months. Realistically, I've got about 2 more months of busy season in the office. I've made this commitment to stay through the busy season to some extent. I would have liked to pull back and reduced my commitment to the office and to the company. And I talked to Steve about it, and he was okay, let's try and work something out. But it's kind of just fallen by the wayside. I've heard through the grapevine that he sold the company or made arrangements to sell the company, so I don't know what's going on with all that. So everything's kind of uncertain, but what is certain is I'm engaged in it now. It's the busiest time of the year. If I were to leave, it would cause stress on the rest of the office and the other employees, and things wouldn't get done to an acceptable status. So I've committed to this, and I'm doing this, and I'm trying to do the other things on the side and not let the property management stress affect me and reduce my ability to continue to try and pursue this personal path. So bottom line, you know, I've got a couple months. I've got the rest of July and August, and possibly into September, realistically, to get everything done, get everything under control as we transition into the slower season, where I can probably either step back or remove myself completely. Plus, September 1, which is less than 2 months away, is when I reboot with my paid personal days, which are payable with notice. If you give notice to end your appointment for the handbook, those are payable. Why would I walk away from 4 weeks worth of pay when I just have to hold out for another 6 weeks, 8 weeks? So I'm going to see this realistically. I've got this timeline to get an idea, get something going, and get it moving along so that I can start to try and generate some revenue from this. And so I'm feeling both sides of the coin. I feel like I've got time, and I'm feeling a little bit of pressure. All right, well, I've only got this much time. So simultaneously trying to balance all that out, the feeling of I've got plenty of time, but I need to maximize on it, and if I'm not careful, I could squander the time, and I'm going to be sitting here 4 months from now going, all right, well, I guess I'm going to do property management for another year and chalk this up to another entrepreneurial endeavor that didn't go anywhere. So trying to keep this positive outlook, and I'm trying to broken the rules my whole life. Society says you have to do things this way. General common sense and knowledge say things need to be done this way, and I apply those things, but I really try to incorporate my personality into what I'm doing, and my personality is just, it's all over the place, and I want to be successful, and it really has. It's held me back to a certain extent, because I can't advance any one particular portion of my life without simultaneously trying to advance all the other fronts. And it's just how I do things. It's just how I am, and I don't want to sacrifice that. And I know if I whittled everything down and focused all my energy on one thing, it would be easier. It would be quicker, but it's not me. And the key again in all of this is being true to yourself. So after that meeting on Monday and that, I was like, all right, so maybe she's right. Maybe I should put the book on hold. Maybe I should put pursuing the writing career on hold. Maybe I should just put everything into trying to get this. But at some point during the weekend, this weekend, I was just like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm doing it my way, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to be successful at it. And I hit a point yesterday. Like I said, I went and I was like, I'm just going to lay down. If we're just sitting around the house, I'm going to go lay down and take a nap. And I went and I tried to get into a bit of a meditative state, and I drifted off a little bit, and I woke up and I actually felt more clear, and made some tea, and I was looking out the back window at our patio area, and the sun was shining, it was bright. You know what, I don't feel like laying in the sun. I just feel like kicking back and absorbing some sunshine and enjoying the beautiful day. It's hot, it's 100 degrees outside, but that's what I want to do, and I did. I pulled out of one of these lounge chairs we got last week before we took our weekend trip, and set it up, and I laid out there for a bit. And I love our backyard, but mosquitoes have always been a problem, and mosquitoes absolutely love me, so it's a deterrent for me. I can't really go out and spend much time out there because I get hit up. I have welts all over me, and then I spend the next several hours uncomfortable. I should have gone in that way. Or nope, it's this one coming up. But it was hot, and it's been dry, so I was kind of rolling the dice that there might not be any bugs, or would be very few bugs, and it was good. I went out and I sat in the sun, and it was just, I turned my music on my phone and let it kind of randomly cycle through, and it was good. It was a good time. And it was only a half an hour, 40 minutes, but I felt like I got a lot out of it. So I've never been to this house before. I have a pretty good idea of where I need to go with this. I've been, again, kicking these ideas. I mean, it's never stopped. It's always still rolling in my head. It's just not always in the forefront. It's always rolling in the background. I'm just kind of just barely aware that it's here. All right, well, how am I going to set this up? How am I going to lay this out? What format am I actually going to go with this? Am I going to go this food truck route? Am I going to go this restaurant route? Rhonda wants to incorporate some type of a breakfast and lunch coffee shop concept into it, and so I'm kicking all these ideas around, and I came up with a compromise of everything that isn't any one particular idea specifically, but basically incorporates all of them at a starting point that could evolve into any of them. But it's gives me the opportunity to get out there and start doing something on my own. And after I sat in the sun for a while yesterday and I made some tea and I was sitting there enjoying my tea and getting some effects of the caffeine, getting kind of a reinvigorated for the day, I got back inside and I started looking up things on the computer. I was curious about crowdfunding and how that works with taxes. You know, these are things that in my mind, as I'm rolling through things, I'm making this mental list of different questions, different things I'm just not sure about. All right, if I'm going to pursue down this route, which I think is viable, you know, what are the consequences? What are the ramifications? What's it going to cost me? And you know, what's pros and cons of all of this? So I just started Googling things. All right, well, I have questions about this. I have questions about this. And I was like, all right, well, what can I get some used equipment for? Kitchen equipment. You know, what can I get this for? And if I do this, what can I get this for? And the longer I did that and spent time focused on that, the more fired up I got, the more energetic I got. And all of a sudden, I felt good, which I hadn't felt good in some time, for a couple of weeks. And I consumed a lot of water yesterday morning. I don't know why. I was kind of thirsty and just felt like drinking, and I drank several bottles of water and then tea, and then I felt like I was flushing a bunch out of me, and all of a sudden I felt good, and I felt like, you know what, I feel like I've been battling something, even though I really wasn't getting the symptoms. My body was fighting something off. I don't know if I had picked up some kind of, like I said, summer bug, but I all of a sudden felt good, and I felt fired up, and I felt passionate, and all of a sudden I was just like, all these ideas started coming in, all these little things that have been rolling around in my head for weeks. I was like, yeah, maybe this, maybe that, possibly this. If I put this together with this may work, and I might be able to do this, and all of a sudden, boom, and I was like in the moment, and I was like, wow, I could do all of this, and I was just, again, just on fire. And the more I was researching the things that I wanted to do, and maybe I could try this or work this or do this, the more realistic it got. And then the more I was engaged in Twitter, especially because I follow a lot of people that are associated with the law of attraction and law of abundance and creating your own reality. And I've lived my life detached, isolated from all of that. I've intentionally pursued my life without outside influence, and now every time I see a post from one of these people, and there's dozens of them that I follow on Twitter, that every time I see one of their affirmations or their tweets that reinforces my own perspective on life, I'm like, I'm not alone. I've been doing this for a long time, and I've been going it alone. I've been intentionally keeping myself removed from any other type of collective consciousness to try and maintain a certain amount of integrity of my idea, of my what I'm trying to create as an original movement, original idea, philosophy of life, without all that outside influence. But the more I engage with those, the more I get reinforced, the more I realize, all right, well, it's not just an illusion it is, but it's not just imaginary. I'm actually creating this, and the more I buy into that, the easier things become for me, and the more successful I feel like I'm going to be. And that's where I was yesterday, and I was like, you know what, I can't wait for this. And that allowed me to get through the evening, and I got to experiment with some food and some prep. I made some ribs last night, and I I did them in a way that I'd never done before, and never braised ribs and then tried to smoke them afterwards, and they came out good. I'm pleased with it. I came up with some new ideas as far as creating this business, and things that are kind of outside of the box, different ways to generate revenue, to be financially viable without having to count on the standard norm. All right, well, I need so many customers in the door per day at a price point of so much dollars per person at a food cost of so many percentage per, it just, that's good, and I can plan that, but I'm trying to diversify that and not put all my eggs in one basket. I can't count on, well, I can. I mean, that's how all businesses have been generated. I just don't want to. I want to do it my way. I want to create these other avenues for wealth to come in. I want to be successful. I want to have excess. I don't just want abundance. I want excess. I want enough to be able to do everything I want to do, and be able to share with other people financially. I mean, I want to be able to generate this movement, create this movement of happiness, of self-sufficiency, of supporting and helping develop and establish small businesses. So it was good, and I got back into the office this morning. I'm still carrying that bit of a high from yesterday, which is allowing me to not become overwhelmed with the volume of work that I have sitting on my desk right now that needs to be taken care of, and I'm successfully maintaining a level of detachment, which is allowing me to keep my focus on moving down this path without getting frustrated and anxious and just lost in my own emotions, which I have a tendency to do. So anyway, that's where I'm at, and that's my update, and I'm excited about it, and I hopefully can just keep the momentum going.